It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We're living like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our own way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. What's your weakness? What's your type? Somehow I wanna know all about you. Deep connection lights a spark. You already know me when we dance in the dark. We're dreamers. We're living like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. We're doing this in our own way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. Oh, we come alive. We come alive. Oh, we come alive. Tell me that you want me. I can see you want me by the look in your eyes. Tell me that you want me. I can see you want me by the look in your eyes. We come alive. We come alive. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. We come alive. What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We're living like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our own way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. What's your weakness? What's your type? Somehow I wanna know all about you. Deep connection lights a spark. You already know me when we dance in the dark. We're dreamers. We're living like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. We're doing this in our own way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about
Alrighty, there you go. And this time the mic is actually working. Hope you guys all had a quick little break there. Not much has changed from Bitcoin. I'm going to move some stuff around here on my point. My light is actually too bright for my eyes, so woo, just slide that down right there. And there we go. Can I see it with this? Probably not. For now, I'll keep the glasses off. That lens glare today has just been killing me. Um, Welcome to the stream again. Hope you guys all had a good day. We'll kind of be doing a recap of everything that went on today because there's some good news, some bad news. We had another bear market fake out. This is the second one over the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks or so, and they're starting to get a little bit annoying, as I bet some of you guys understand that as well. Yesterday, over the last couple of days, we had a good pop above the 20-day moving average. That was very, very nice to see. And in fact, for this one, I'll actually just break it down for you here. No, let's not. Let's save that one for a little bit of time. Here we go. So over the last few days, we had a good bounce and good breakout above the 20-day moving average. This led to a really good feeling amongst investors that everything was going to be looking a-okay for a short amount of time here, guys. Right? I thought, hey, maybe we could be looking for a little bit more of a bear market rally. This may take a few more days to a few weeks or a couple weeks here, so that might actually lead us to have something more of a more greenish July. Well, it seems like just like last time when we had the one before Mother's Day, something similar happened where excuse me, where we sit up there for just a little bit of time. We managed to break out above some certain levels of resistance, some important levels of resistance, but ultimately we were not able to close above those levels of resistance besides the 20-day moving average, leading a lot of people to get hit pretty hard when whales eventually dumped a large amount of crypto. And I don't mean just short. People were selling Bitcoin today as well as shorting it, which is very interesting because normally we just see people shorting it and not necessarily always selling it, if that makes sense. So that's something you guys should be aware of going forward. We do see a little bit more selling going on besides just the shorts. Now, one of the reasons we had a pretty bad day coming down, or a pretty bad day overall, if you go check out FinViz here, is the stock market, more importantly the NASDAQ, was down quite a bit here as well. And primarily, we talked about this earlier, but I'll go into a little bit more now. The Federal Reserve just started today to dump some of its assets, and that means it's selling off it's starting to sell off a massive amount of securities off of its balance sheet. Right now, the balance sheet has like tens of trillions of dollars on the balance sheet. They're going to try to slowly trim that sucker down. I don't know how fast they're going to try to do that, but I will try to ask a friend of mine or somebody I know exactly how much they're planning on dumping every single day. That'll give you guys a good understanding of how much the market has to be buying up if the market wants to continue going up, because the market's going to have to buy that plus what everybody else is selling, and then in order to keep the market going up right now. Okay, so that's the main concern of what we've been seeing today. If we go over here and check out the Ganfin level, we talked about how we broke above this level. We were not able to actually close above this level here, guys, and it really was a pain in the butt. Let me go over here very fast. So what you just saw was the 4-hour chart. Here's the daily chart on this one. We managed to close above this one pretty well. This one was fine. Closed above it. We're already back down below it here. This one was not the one I was too concerned about. The one I think I was meant to be talking about here a couple of seconds ago is this one right here. Oh, that is not the right one. Oh, snap. Did I get rid of all the technical analysis on this one? Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, phew, scared me. Scared me. That's why you can't have too many Bitcoin charts. On this one in particular, we got very close, but we were unable to actually close above this 2-to-1 Ganfin level, which led a lot of people pretty annoyed because the main area where you guys might be wanting to sell or open up short positions here over the last few days would have been above this Ganfin level right here. So above $30,837. And then your selling price would be around here. If I can actually, let's do this one. All the way up here, which we were just a few minutes ago, up here to 32,700, 32,000, almost 33,000 if you want to think of it like that. But we didn't even manage to get that high, but because before that could happen, the traditional stock market opened back up. NASDAQ opened up okay, then proceeded to tank like everything else in the market. Right now, the NASDAQ is down about 0.72%. That really did drive Bitcoin down here more than we would definitely like to see. So we thought there might be a chance over the next few days that we could see Bitcoin decouple from the NASDAQ It seems like it can do it for short periods of time, like on every few days or so, like a few day period of time. But overall, it's still just we're attached to the Nasdaq at the side of the hip. Everybody, I wish we had better things to talk about here, but unfortunately, we're still following the Nasdaq here. If the Nasdaq proceeds to have a red week this week, there's a good chance we're having a big Bitcoin tank by the end of the week, going into the weekend. It's really going to be up to the Nasdaq right now. And as far as what I see from the Nasdaq here, if I go over here to the normal charts, actually, let's go to watch list. The Nasdaq here. Here's the weekly chart. Excuse me. Here's the daily chart. Let's go over to the weekly chart very fast. There you go. There's still an opportunity for us to run into this 200 weekly moving average over the next few weeks here. I'm still hoping here, guys. I'm still hoping that we can have some type of bullish move. Just because the Nasdaq had a little bit of a downward day, but Bitcoin had a big downward day, there's still a chance for the Nasdaq to continue going up higher here over the next few days. It's just seeming less and less likely, and it seems like Bitcoin at this point in time is getting a lot more fake outs. And fake outs are designed to trick new investors that don't know how to use stop losses. If we broke out, it was an okay time to buy Bitcoin because we broke out. It was fine. By all reasonable, things, you could buy Bitcoin, expect a nice little return there, as long as you guys had some type of decent price target and you weren't expecting us to go to the moon, right? Well, what happened was, if you guys didn't have a stop loss earlier today, within a few hours, if you own Bitcoin, you were down about, 7% or so, now maybe just down about 6%. So guys, make sure you have stop losses if you guys do buy the breakouts. The last breakout was over here. You can see imaginary line right there. Pop goes the dynamite, so to speak. Right? But that seems to be the big issue that we're running into right now. Hopefully we have an opportunity to get back up here. All's not lost yet. But the more fake outs that we have, the more likely that people aren't going to be interested in buying. And maybe that's what the whale's like, guys. Maybe that's what the whale's like here. And hey, Ruben. Hey, Tony. Happy to see you guys back again. And hey, Papa Egod, Angel, Justin. You see you guys be back here. And Aaron and Rip Sergeant. Hope you guys are doing pretty well, my man. Yeah, and hey, Rip Sergeant. So far, so good. I've been streaming for the past few hours, but I took like a 25-minute break to kind of get my senses back in order. I don't like long streams. They kind of wear me down more than I would like to admit. Okay. But today, guys, here, we did break down below the 20-day moving average over the last few minutes of the trading day from this last daily candle. And so we have an opportunity to have a pretty decent swing day for Bitcoin if we really wanted to have it, if whales wanted to have it. If not, our main level of support, what you guys are most likely going to be looking for over the next few hours here, is if we break down below this trend line here using the May 12th low and the low from May 26th. Depending on what chart you use, this is a Bitcoin tether chart, so this is what the line looks like here. If you guys do a Bitcoin USD, so not tether, but according to the US dollar, the chart is going to look more like this, where it's very close to the line here. So I'm not entirely sure which one I want to believe right now. I think for now, if I see a pretty large surge of Bitcoin coming back down below this trend line right here, that's going to give me more of a feeling like, if I see that big move, I think this is the one to pay attention to. If for whatever reason we break down below this line and it doesn't look too drastic, then maybe the Bitcoin tether chart is going to be something that the algorithms and therefore the whales are really using a lot more than just the traditional Bitcoin USD chart. All right. Let me park this right here very fast. So far, nice and easy. I mean, not really doing much here. 5 here. Let's go to an hour here so we can see what's going on. Nice consolidation. And just so you guys know, since we are at a level of support, if you guys wanted to buy right now, you would be putting on about a 2 to 3% stop loss on your investment, just to make sure if it breaks down below that white line, you're going to sell it. If for whatever reason it continues to go up, then you can move that stop loss up as needed, okay? And hey, Crypto Hash LFG, what is LFG? And hey, Babyfish, looks like a bear flag to me. It definitely does not look bullish, to say the least. I'm really hoping that whales can come in here and pop us up a little bit more. Or not even the whales really much, because we don't really like to rely on whales. They kind of a bullish whale is kind of a nuisance to a short. Everything could be looking very, very good for a short, and then all of a sudden a whale comes in here, it's like pop goes the dynamite. I'm like, dude, what the heck is going on? We have that same understanding. It's like when we're long and a whale just kind of dumps everything on us. That same feeling, basically. So, guys, I'm going to be watching this pretty closely over the next 24 hours. It was another fake out here. I just wish the fake out gave us a little more umph. I like multi-day fake outs or bear market rallies. I like that a lot. The fact that it only lasted one day was pretty much because of the Nasdaq and what we talked about the Federal Reserve. Babyfish told me about that today, and I think I also talked about I talked about it with Secretfish as well here. But definitely precarious times. I think if you guys wanted to make the easiest amount of money here, the best thing a lot of people could do is open up a 1 or 2x Ethereum short or maybe a Bitcoin short and just kind of leave it be for a while. And I think over time you'd be making some money there. But that's, again, not financial advice. That's just me, some of my plans that I have going on right now. Because I've had Ethereum shorts on for months at this point. They were up for a little bit of time. They were down for a little bit of time. And then all of a sudden, when we had that big crash just a couple months ago or a month ago, all those shorts really started to print out money finally. All right. And hey, Aaron, I'm always happy to help you out, my man. Always happy to help you out. And hey, Michael, can you look at BNB? Yeah, let me take out BNB very fast for you. All right, BNB. Let's go Tether. All right. So this bad boy looks like it could definitely have a fall off week here pretty soon. Hopefully, it could have a little bit more of a something good going on for it. What I see right here, as far as the weekly chart is concerned, you see these higher lows here. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. The moment we break down below this on the weekly chart, I think we're pretty much done as far as having a little bit of a fall down here. But what I would look at instead of just the weekly chart here is the daily chart. Maybe just something like this, so I can put my magnet back up here. There you go. Something more like that. If we start breaking down below that, I'd be pretty scared because basically what we just had was let me draw this one for you. Right, had a clear breakdown, came back up to test, got rejected, and coming back down now. Now I see this as our next major level of support, probably over the next few days around 293 or so. So about $10, $7 loss. That could lead to a really bad move. And then what you would ultimately see is this curl coming down and then another big tank coming at this moment in time. I'm almost surprised we don't have more head and shoulders because it feels like we're just having another shoulder here without the head part going on along with it, right? Let me exit that right there, though. But yeah, at this point in time, it's holding support fine. I'm not too stressed out about it. One of the things I'm concerned about, oh, here we go. No, I need to get this moving averages back on there. There we go. On the weekly chart, had a death cross a while ago. Nothing but bad stuff ever since. We still have the 20-week moving average pretty high up. Nothing really as far as support and resistance there. And according to the dailies, we've just been really choppy with the 20-day moving average. That doesn't seem that good to me at all. I really was expecting something a little bit more there, but apparently not. And everything just seems to be coming down right now. Short term, hopefully it can get its act together, but that's really going to be reliant on Bitcoin, right? I think overall, we really just kind of want to stay above $212. I think we can specifically because it is Binance in particular. But if Bitcoin does go down to like 22,000 or so, we will be falling down below 212, and you could see Binance BNB coin for the most part come all the way back down to like maybe $150, maybe even as low as 116. Although I think that'd be that'd be a little extreme for me. Just because a lot of people tend to just hold this coin to have lower fees on the on Bitcoin, right? But right now, yeah, I'm watching this pretty closely. I'm hoping we can find support around 212 and not go down below that. But if we do, there's not really much support here, guys, as far as BNB. And historically, this thing really does like to have those nice dips, but like well down below the lows over here, well down below the lows over here. Likes to have like whoosh, like better to show you guys like this. High to low during the market, down 83%. High to low during the market, down about 83%. So far now, let's go high to low. We've only been about 70% down, and currently we're only down about 58%. So I think BNB definitely has some more pain in its future here. How fast it takes us to get down there, not entirely sure. That relies more with Bitcoin, of course. And probably best to do 5 here. All right. Hoping that Bitcoin can try to hold these levels, right? And hey, you're watching Let's Freaking Go LFG. Let's see. Michael, I entered a short position on it earlier. Just wondering what you thought. Thanks, Mike. Oh, yeah. I think for short, it's going to be a good play, right? Yeah. You might have to wait a little bit for it to just freaking tank here. Right now, Bitcoin does look bearish after this little bit of a knockdown that we just had. But yeah, it's something that you just want to wait, give it a few days. Bitcoin, if it continues on this really this bear market, we should be heading back down pretty soon as long as the Nasdaq continues to really break us back down. You notice over the past few days, Bitcoin really wasn't. Last week when the Nasdaq was kind of flying, the stock market was having a nice little rally after that really big dump it had. Bitcoin wasn't having that rally, so I'm wondering even if the Nasdaq goes up over the next few days, I wonder if that's enough to keep Bitcoin going up, or if Nasdaq goes up 2-3% in a couple days, will Bitcoin just go up 1% or just stay stagnant and not have a big pop off, right? I think it'll be interesting to see because at this point in time, as far as Bitcoin's concerned, we're starting to get choppy with these moving averages again, right? We might be popping up and down all around in these moving averages for the next few days if the bear flag really, or this bearish pattern doesn't really just get, slap us back down here. But again, new day candle, we still have 22 hours and 38 minutes left. We're going to be hoping that we can have some volatile move to push us back up here. If you guys have longs or not. If you guys are short like the majority of people, you guys are just going to be holding your shorts and patiently waiting this bad boy out and maybe doing some day trading longs while we kind of wait to see what happens here. Right. All right, and there we go right here. Let me pop this up. There you go. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. And make sure to answer the poll, guys. Do you guys think that this is going to be a red month or a green month? So far, red month has it 75%, green has it 25%, 3-4, right? Or 3-1? Something like that. I'm bad at math. But yeah, that's what, so far, majority of people think we're just going to have another bad month here. But something interesting that I saw today, we can do two different things here. First one is looking at the monthly chart for Bitcoin. Ignore that little line. I'll redraw it here in a second. And let me get the 200 EMA out of the way. If you look at this cycle, guys, here, put aside the recession, put aside, the chances of a really bad bear market. I know that's a lot to ask you to put aside, but just put aside for a second. Traditionally, we're getting close to the end of this bear market cycle as far as when we just start plummeting and plummeting and plummeting. A lot of times we just plummet, we find that support level, then we just kind of go sideways for a few months with a few drops in every now and again to shake people out. But, if the Federal Reserve is able to stabilize inflation to help the economy, we could be in a good spot where we're almost done. We could have maybe 1 or 2 more bad months of crypto dropping, and then we find our good level of support, whether it's going to be the 50-month moving average or it's going to be the 200 weekly moving average, right? I'm hopeful for that. However, if things do start to look a little bit worse for crypto here, then I would say, that would require the Nasdaq falling back down below the 200 weekly moving average, which, as we all know, only happens in really bad economic times, such as the 2008 financial crisis, Great Recession, and then the dot-com bubble of the 2001 era, right? So definitely some bad stuff in here, and also what else was over here? And yeah, there was like 9/11 in here as well too. But overall, really bad times occur when we're down below this 200 weekly moving average. At this point, we could still just make this a more of a major correction and then get right back on our merry way to having great returns in the stock market and the traditional markets, therefore helping out Bitcoin a lot because Bitcoin's correlated to the Nasdaq, right? So, however, if they don't, then we're going to be on the 200 weekly moving average, the Nasdaq watch here. Maybe I'll make a meme of it with like the Night Walkers and stuff from Game of Thrones. But I think in order for Bitcoin to complete a normal standard cycle where it just comes into contact with the 200 weekly moving average and maybe just a little bit below that if we want to, get more scare, if it's a little more aggressive on the downward move, we need the Nasdaq to stay above the 200 weekly moving average here. If it does not, then the Nasdaq, depending on which Fibonacci level you're looking at here, has an opportunity to go all the way back down here to $8,672. At that point, that means we're dropping down another 30% here from the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq falls less than Bitcoin, right? So if the Nasdaq falls 1%, Bitcoin's falling 2 to 3%. That means altcoins are going like 10 to 15% that same time frame, right? Maybe like 8 to 8% or something like that, right? Excuse me. So, or if things get really, really drastic and we hit some type of stagflation where where the Federal Reserve has to really go into overdrive because people are riding the streets, they can't afford the goods, they can't afford gas, that type of bad stuff, like really bad stuff, I think the worst we would probably go down to is around the $6,000 level. But I don't really see that happening too much here. I mean, that losing 50% of the market, it can happen, but I don't think the economy is in that bad of a shape at this point in time. I think what's happening right now is, according to politicians, I think would see it like this way: the middle class is hurting, but they're not in a crazy amount of pain. The poor people are hurting, but that's acceptable, right? Not my opinion, but just kind of see politicians kind of thinking about it. But as long as we can kind of mitigate some of that pain for the middle class somehow, then we should be okay to kind of ride out this bad experience. And we'll see how bad everything gets. But if you guys want to use Fibonacci levels on the NASDAQ, there's a couple different levels I'd recommend. The first one is the lows of the 2008 financial crisis, or kind of around that double bottom that kind of ended it. Or you guys could go to the bottom of the dot-com bubble. That one's also a good one, is here as well. What you guys can do on top of that as well is, if you guys don't want to use the fib levels based on log scale here, this little button right here, you can tap it off, and that'll give you a little bit of a different level of support. So for now, let's keep that back there to where we just had it. Okay, go to the highs, and then we can kind of go down here and see, did this one work? Well, what do you know? It did work a little bit, so that means we might have another bounce off of either the 200 weekly moving average, which I think is stronger than this Fibonacci level. So we might have a bounce off of here, but I think if we ever do break down below this 200 weekly moving average, I think we should have a pause here temporarily around $10,665, and I think that'd be fine. On the other hand, let's check out to see what happened here if we just move this over, again, with the log box checked off. Similar, just a little bit higher, just a teeny bit higher here, guys. Dollars that we could bounce around that same point. So maybe we come below the 200 a week moving average, like we did right here, just a little bit below it, or dot-com bubble, a little bit below it, and then we manage to tap off of that Fibonacci level, and then we either bounce and don't run into a full-on economic crisis because the Fed has done a good job, or the Fed has done such a bad job that we eventually bounce and then crash back down to that support level, which will just be a tough time for everybody, right? Just a tough time for everybody, including everybody that holds Bitcoin, right? Because a lot of us right now are assuming that Bitcoin's going to find a bottom around the 200 weekly moving average, right? That's what I'm kind of still assuming, that level right now. But if for whatever reason the economy gets worse, I'm prepared for Bitcoin to get lower, and I'm not going to be selling my crypto at that point in time either. All right. So just because you're really banking on a recession if you expect Bitcoin to come down below the 200 weekly moving averages, or you expect the NASDAQ to, if inflation is getting that's not a good way to say it. You have to believe that the Federal Reserve is going to do a horrible job managing inflation going forward, if you believe that we're going to break down below the 200 weekly moving average. The stock market needs to come down quite a bit here. We'll see how much more it will come back down. But overall, this is a time to be patient and be cautious as you continue to buy during this larger cycle here, right? Which is fine, right? It's what we do. All right. On the weekly chart here, I am curious on a couple levels of support that we're going to be dealing with. I'm curious for the 200 EMA right here. If we break down below that, I think that's like the peak of buying season usually. So I like to start buying when we're down below the 100 weekly moving average, this pink line right here, hot pink. During a bear market, which was here, bear market started here, right? I'm usually okay with buying underneath this pink line for long-term gains. A little bit, not a lot, but a little bit here and there every day, right? A good amount, decent amount. But once we start breaking underneath the 200 weekly EMA, exponential moving average, that's usually the golden peak time where you start to see people really load up heavily on crypto. And at this point in time, people managed to buy a little bit here. That's why you saw it pop up a little bit, as well as Fibonacci levels that we talked about. But I think if we do eventually break down below this, that's going to be peak buying season for a lot of you guys that want to be buying for long-term holdings only. Because usually, like we just talked about earlier in the day, when we manage to break back out above this again, right here, that's when things go crazy. That's where everybody's looking really excited and everybody's having a fun time. and then you start to see the effects of FOMO start to creep in there until Bitcoin starts to stagnate again, right? Before ultimately making that larger move, before it starts making that larger move again. All right, but right now, simple times. Hoping for a little bit more of a little bit more stability. I think what I'll do for now is keep the 100 weekly moving average on this chart and keep the 200 week exponential moving average on this chart. It'll help us out a little bit here, but overall, how do you guys feel about the market? Let me know in the comments. I'm really going to try to encourage you guys to comment as much as possible because I feed off of comments. When there's no comments, my anxiety spikes, and I'm just like, what do I do? Do I end the stream because nobody is commenting, or do I do something else, or do I change the subject? I'm never sure. Anxiety problems. But what do you call? Let me know what you guys think about that. Do you guys think that? Well, let me phrase it this way. Do you think the Federal Reserve is going to be able to curb inflation before the economy gets too bad and people are not able to, deal with gas prices, home prices going up, rent prices going up, food prices going up because of high gas prices, famine coming into life? Do you think that, and also the U.S. government, that includes not just Joe Biden, but the Congress and your local and state representatives, do you think they're going to be able to help manage this crisis and get us through it without any huge scars and cuts and stuff like that? What do you guys think? I'm actually pretty interested to hear what you guys think about that. Okay, let's go back to the 4-hour chart. Let's get this back up here rolling again. Maybe let's best to go with a magnet here. There we go. And 71% of you guys think that it's going to be a green month. A red month, and 29% right now think it's going to be a green month. Hope one of you guys is right. Let's go back over here. Now, what is it? Oh. Bitcoin US dollar 4-hour chart. Did I mess up something? Five-minute chart. Yeah, why is this off? Is it from here to here? I think I just messed up something very simple. There we go. There you go. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking that for a second. All right. Go for the hour chart here. And the 5-minute chart here, but let's make it look a little bit larger than it actually is. All right. Hey, Monica, happy to see you back as well. Can you touch up on NVIDIA today? Yes, I will in 1 second here. Let me see right here. All right. Yeah. Okay. Let me check out NVIDIA for you guys. And thanks for being a member, Monica. NVIDIA didn't have the best day today. I still have my options open on it, or I still have a position open on it for as far as calls, the 195 strikes. But definitely went down today. Breaking down below its actually 100-week moving average. I don't think about this too much, though, as far as the NASDAQ is concerned. Let me take this off in the EMA. There we go. Best to do it like this. So right now, I'm still going off of this breakout right here, along with the Fibonacci extension tool. I know we've already reached the price target off of this move, and I'm kind of anticipating we move back up to this blue level. I'm hoping that we can move up to it before next Friday, though. That's the way I'm going to make money. I'm going to start scaling out of my position around 195. But right now, that position is still down a little bit. What I'd be paying attention to right now, besides the Fibonacci extension of that 202 level that I'm looking for, I would probably hop on over to the hour chart. I was looking at this today, the hour chart and the 4-hour chart. As I kind of zoom out and look at NVIDIA, I'm not too concerned about what it's done so far. It came down a little bit today, but I didn't feel like it was one of these days where it was just, boom and boom and just getting slammed down, right? I still think there's an opportunity for it to go up a little bit more, but I do see some, the fact that the Federal Reserve is now starting to sell off assets here, that's what's most concerning to me as far as stocks are concerned and holding these types of plays. I'm still holding this one. My stop loss for this isn't until maybe the 175 range. I hope we don't fall down to that low. But if we do, I'll take the loss and just kind of keep on walking on. I do still have some hope that the NASDAQ and the stock market can still have a green day over the next few days. Bitcoin looks a bit more bearish than the NASDAQ, but I still have faith that even though Jerome Powell is selling some stuff off, there's still going to be an opportunity for people to buy some stuff up out of the market. So, but right now, not the breakout's still doing fine. But as far as when I bought it, it's not doing so hot, right? But I'll keep you guys updated on what I see as far as the NVIDIA is going forward. There we go. Here, let's go to the 5. There we go. All right. Let's see. And JP Morgan CEO warns of incoming economic hurricane. Any comments? Well, so we've been kind of talking about this for months now. So I grew up dirt poor. Just understand that. So I come from a background where my mom had a fixed income. After she broke her back, she used to be an electrician. While she was getting better, and we had like just I don't know, a few $100 a month for food from the government. Now they give you a lot more, but back then, food money, and just kind of cash to spend on day-to-day goods. The government provided all that for us, plus housing, right? Well, we paid for the housing, but still. And so I understand like how bad things have been getting. For the past like 5-6 months, things have already been really bad for the lower classes, depending on which country you live in, or excuse me, what state you live in. But just now it's starting to creep up into that middle class type of territory. And that's why all of a sudden you saw politicians and economists start to say, whoa, what's going on? Wow, people are suffering. Whoa, right? So, things are just getting to that bad level now. And the reason why it's starting to get bad for the markets, specifically is this. Over the last year or so, because inflation has been rising for a while, as you guys would probably admit at this point, right? If I'm Target, let's just say I'm Target, I noticed that gas prices started going up. I realized there wasn't as many truckers as I needed. I realized that there were supply chain issues in China. And so I realized that, it's costing me more than normal to get my products from China over here. Now, what they realize is, well, I could either absorb these losses, on my balance sheet, and therefore make my investors mad when I give them earnings and my earnings are not as good as I would like them to be, right? Or what I could do is, hey, I can take these losses and I can pass them over to the consumer, and I'll raise the prices of my shirts, my goods, my milk, whatever it may be. And then by the time it comes down to earnings seasons, everybody will see that I met my price targets, because all I had to do to meet those targets was just raise the price of goods. All right? Now, slowly but surely, a lot of poor people don't shop at Target, right? They cannot afford all those types of goods, but middle class people can. And what's happened is they kept on raising the prices, until all of a sudden they started to realize, whoa, now the middle class doesn't actually want to buy my goods. They can no longer afford my goods, or as many of my goods as they once could. And now, do I really want to keep on increasing the prices, or do I want to actually start to absorb those losses, because I'm afraid that if I keep on raising prices, people won't even actually come into the store at all to buy anything, right? Target and Walmart had the same similar thought. The only good thing about Walmart is, even though Walmart got hit hard too, Walmart does serve a lower income bracket, I think you would say, right? And that's why they have such good deals and stuff like that, because they're trying to cater to that specific demographic. But now that they can no longer continue to raise prices, or in Walmart's case, Walmart says they can raise prices, but they don't want to, because they want to make sure that their customers are still somewhat happy, right? That may just be a little bit of spin on their part. But now that they can no longer have those good earnings reports, you're starting to see those types of stocks hit hard. I just use Target as an example because Target, actually, let's just use this. What's Target's, Target? No. Oh, why do I always forget Target's ticker? I always think of it as AT&T. Oof. TGT, of course it is. Oof, excuse me. There we go. And you can see what happened during the last earnings report, right? Boom. Took a nasty hit. After a good earnings report where everybody was getting really pessimistic about the market, they were able to raise their prices and have it beat expectations because of it. Well, all of a sudden, just a few months later, can't do that anymore. The entire market's falling down. Crash. They crashed from $211 all the way down to $166. That's that's like Netflix bad, right? So, that's what's basically happening to the economy. But at the same time, You know, as gas is more expensive, China still has lockdowns right now, and there's fears of more lockdowns if they have another COVID wave. Oh, yada yada. In America, we're thinking about America's having another mini wave right now. Apparently, I don't see it out in the streets, but the news says so. Um, but what's concerning here is not tutorials, watch list. There we go. Here's a daily chart on oil. Oh gosh, I just really hate this. I hate that we went down to negative to zero because now the charts always look so bad. Um, Here's the price of oil on a daily chart. Let's actually go over to a weekly chart here. We're getting to some high levels up here, and there's a chance that we get all the way up to the 160s, maybe even the 160s as far as cost per barrel, which could drive gas in America, depending on where you live. You know, national average around $6-7 a gallon, probably around the low sixes, maybe mid sixes at the most for the average around the country, because some states have better gas, better production of gas. But then places like where I live in, Washington State, or places that are, in California, we're most likely going to be paying anywhere from like $9 to $10 a gallon of gas if that's the case, because we have so many regulations that really make it hard for us to have cheap gas. Like oops, the Washington gas tax is about 50 cents per gallon. So that means whatever the gas is, we actually pay an extra 50 cents that goes straight to the state that is supposed to be fixing up stuff that they never fix up, right? So, things are going to get worse. I don't know what California... I don't even spell California right, but that's okay. California's gas tax is 47 cents, so a little bit lower than ours, right? And then, I don't know, does Seattle have a gas tax? I don't know. I don't know if it does. Um, let's see. Here we go. Oh, so sorry, yeah, and we also have the federal gas tax on top of that. So yeah. And then you amplify that with the fact that there's a chance for a famine, not really in America, but there's a chance for a famine going through the Middle East and Africa, as a lot of the grain that normally ships out of Ukraine is not being shipped out for obvious reasons, of course. So, the in traditional sense, this would just be called headwinds, I guess, as the economists call it. These are the things that's going to make it very, very hard for the economy to stay nice and strong. If we can figure out these problems over the next 2-3 quarters, then we have a good chance of just pretending like none of this happened and we just get back over to gravy town where money is flowing from the heavens, right? If we don't, we're going the other direction. Not good. Good buying opportunities for the long term, but a lot of people won't take advantage of those buying opportunities because they just don't have enough money to invest, because it's all going towards gas, high food prices, high rent, yada yada yada. All right, all right. Back over here. Probably best to go to this one. Let's go here, and yeah, that should be fine. Let's go to the 5 here. All right, there we go. Alrighty, let me make a move right there. All right, all right. What's it here? I feel like the market is going down. Simple as that. It's a cycle. Yeah, it's just that right now we just have worse things going on than a normal market cycle. At this point in time, it's okay to feel like it's a normal cycle. We're in a nice little correction, a little bit of a bear market. It's nothing traumatic right now. It's nothing really devastating to our pocketbooks and things like that. What would make it devastating is if the Federal Reserve can't get inflation under control. That's the big thing that we all have to hope on. We have to hope that the cost of goods can go down over time, or at least stop going up. If we can just stop prices from going up, people might get used to it just for a little bit of time. But one of the problems is, as costs keep on going up, people are like, wasn't gas like right now gas around me is like $5. Like, I can think about it. Wasn't it like 2 weeks ago just at $4.50? Wasn't it a couple months ago at like $4.25? What about a few more months before that? Wasn't it around like $4? Whoa, if things kind of stagnate, Americans are trained. We're very trained to be very simplistic things. We're just trained to buy and kind of go throughout our life, right? It's a very, very simple mentality. But if we start seeing too many fluctuations, people notice that a lot, right? They notice it more and more and more until they start getting ticked off about it. Like over here, people show their disagreement with Joe Biden because they put these little stickers all over the gas stations, all over the pumps, saying like, "I did that," and it points to it points to your current gas price. So if you notice your gas price is very high and you see a Joe Biden sticker like, "I did that," you're gonna be pretty ticked off at Joe Biden too, right? So as we get into this political season, things should get spicy in the crypto markets and the stock market. I'll be really excited to see what goes on because if we can manage to hold this 200 weekly moving average on Bitcoin, we have a good chance during September to have an amazing rally where we're starting to see some really good stuff there, maybe even a little bit sooner than that. But for now, we're still in this bear market and we're just waiting for it to freaking find a bottom so everybody can feel happy enough to just watch it go sideways for a little bit. Then one day out of the blue, we just go pop and everybody's really happy, right? That's the goal, but at this point in time, it's a waiting game. It's just a waiting game. There you go. There you go. Okay, sweet. And hey, Musky Doge, or this could be a fake out, breakout, LOL, just the devil's advocate. It can definitely be that. That's why, if you guys, I said this like 2 hours ago, I think it was. If you guys want to buy and go long right now and not have to deal with a high stop loss, you'd be buying right now, and you could put a stop loss of about now more 2 or 3% when we were talking about it earlier, about 2%. But if you guys wanted to add a 2 or 3% stop loss trade right now, by all means go for it. 2 to 3% is not going to kill you. In fact, you guys should start getting used to losing 2 to 3% and just making sure you sell at that point. That way, when you're making money, it's good. But when you're losing money, like, I just lost 3%, but normally I make like 5-10%. You can see how that's going to help you out a lot, right? But you normally got to be buying at these levels of support here, and you just got to be hoping that that Bitcoin can get back above that 20-day moving average here. So far, it's looking okay. We haven't had a big whale kind of bring us back down just yet. And hey, buddy, only way to see the economy improve is for the admin to quit spending like drunk sailors. That's not what they're capable. They're not capable of not spending money. Remember, I don't know if you're at a meeting still or not, Biden, but Joe Biden is. Whenever I say Joe Biden, I think of the SNL skit. Joe Biden. Here we go. What is that? There you go. So Biden administration will cancel student debt for 500,000 students from Corinthian colleges. So this isn't your normal college system. This isn't like where I went to school, Montana State, or like a University of Washington, or Washington State, or a Portland State, or a Portland University, or whatever, Vancouver. This isn't helping out anybody that went to a traditional college. This is helping out the people that went to those colleges that have those commercials. Phoenix University, Everest College, whatever, Everest College, whatever it is. Only those people are going to get help, and it looks like their debt's going to be cleared, but it's going to cost $5.8 billion. Right? So I don't think the current administration sees inflation being correlated to how much money they spend. I know that sounds weird because it definitely is, but I think right now, Bideford, to be frank, it's all politics. I haven't checked out Biden's poll numbers, but I assume they're pretty bad because of the state of the economy across the country, right? I don't know. Polls 530. I check this out every now and again. How popular is Joe Biden? Well, only 41% of Americans approve of his job performance at this point in time, it looks like, okay? That's about the same as I think Trump was during his first couple years, right? I think somewhere in that same area, maybe even a little bit worse in some circumstances. It was kind of bad if you think about it, because he was kind of hyped up to be the normal guy. And so because of that, like this is with friendly media coverage too, because of that, he needs to find a way to get people to like him again. And spending money is usually a good way to get people to like you. Think of all the way back, think of ancient Rome. When you're running for Senate and things of that nature, or running for the political system, you could just go up to a political debate, give out your speech amongst the people, and at the end of it, just toss coins or spend money on bread to give them free stuff. It happens a lot. I mean, it's just frankly, it's what happens, right? So I think it's just more political, but There is going to be a downside to that, of course. We all know spending money is not something we need to be doing right now, of course, as a country. But politics. It's the magic excuse. It's politics. We need to remain in power. Everybody does it. Well, all politicians do it. They all want to stay in power for whatever their reasons are. Some want to help out their constituents. Some want to make buddy-buddy with the lobbyists. Some want to become a lobbyist after they get out of Congress. You know, it sucks. It sucks, right? And hey, Bedford, there is going to be a lot of good buying opportunities if you're able to hold on long enough. That's going to be the key here. And you're going to be trying to time the bottom as best as you can, which normally means since nobody can really find the exact bottom, a lot of times we can just find a good opportunity where we're going to be scaling into a position, just buying a little bit here, a little bit there. I've been doing the same thing with Robinhood. You guys know this. I've been buying Robinhood for a while now. I don't know why I just typed in hood. But it's back down to 937 after just a few days ago being back up into the tens. I'm still buying some, but I'm just kind of taking it nice and easy because I think I can get Robinhood for a much cheaper price. And remember, the market cap for Robinhood is only 7.3 billion. If we have a bad economic cycle and people don't have enough money to be investing in Robinhood, this would be great for me to buy back down because personally, I'm hoping that something like market cap of Robinhood is 7.3 billion, right? Coinbase has a market cap of $14.3 billion. I'm hoping that there could be some type of company out there that would want to buy up Robinhood and make an acquisition of it. Heck, Elon Musk, Bezos, Microsoft guy, Bill Gates. If one of those could buy up Robinhood and make something of it, I'd be incredibly happy with it, right? But at this point in time, we're just in that sludge of a bear market. Anytime we have a pop, eventually we will drop. But the thing is, you have to be, if you want to trade those moves, you kind of have to have a stop loss just to protect yourself if we do have that drop sooner rather than later. Sometimes we have multi-day rallies. Some days we just have one-day rallies like we did yesterday, right? Where it's just kind of up, then it's one day of stagnation, then we just get tanked back down below the Ganfeng levels. It's unfortunate, but that's just where we're at the moment. But overall, if you guys want to, you guys could just open up some low leverage short positions, maybe just a 1x short position, and just kind of let it sit. And over time, you will be making money as the price of Bitcoin continues to drop down here. And then once you find a bottom that you like, you could actually just do a little bit of flipperoo and just start longing. And of course, the price will go down because you're not going to time the bottom all the way. But then eventually, you're going to have a nice little bit of profit as we come back up. The little things you can do to make money they're pretty nice, but they're not going to be making you a lot of money very fast. But they are pretty consistent ways to generate revenue when the market's a little bit too choppy or too risky for you guys to want to day trade and swing trade without proper guidelines there as far as stop losses and trailing stop losses and all that other type of stuff. And hey, Ruben, preach. I mean, I think growing up poor and then going to a rich elite private school, I've learned the best of both worlds and the worst of both worlds. It is something kind of crazy to kind of see both worlds in action, but it's it kind of helps you with the stock market if you can understand how bad the economy is really getting. That's why I think it was like a year ago I bought some Dollar General. I told my mom to buy some Dollar General. I told my grandparents to buy some Dollar General and dollar store type of stuff, and they were doing absolutely fine right now. They're doing absolutely fantastic because what happens? As inflation starts to creep up, it wasn't a year ago, probably 6-7 months ago when they started saying transitory. No, almost a year ago now, isn't it? Jeez. But as inflation rises, people can no longer afford the goods of a Target, of I don't know, where do I shop? Target. I don't go to Target, but Sephora, makeup stuff, flawless. Kohl's. I don't know. You know what I mean. And so they're forced to go look for those same goods at a cheaper price, maybe with a little bit less, a little bit lower quality. And Dollar General is usually where you want to be. It's usually where you want to be, right? Nice little pop. It's doing okay right now. Good earnings. I've been happy with this move so far. I've been happy with it. I'm hoping that as inflation gets worse, I want to see the prices go up. The one concern I do have about Dollar General, though, is just the fact that as inflation goes up, they got to pay those. And since they are kind of a Dollar General type of store, they have to protect their margins pretty carefully there. But they've had a pretty good track record of doing that over the past few years, so I believe in them. Excuse me. Whoosh. There we go. Uh, and hey, Ryan, can you check out the chart to see if I'm missing anything here? I put on S triple Q. Kind of weird to do technicals on the triple Qs because it's always like a bit, it's just short, so you might as well just be doing the long version of it. But oh, should I do that? Let me double check somebody here. You have puts and then triple Q. So that means you're going to be hoping that the price, that the Nasdaq goes up, right? Um, in order for that to happen, this is daily chart. You want to see us bounce off of this 50-day moving average here. We already had a breakdown so far, right there. You might be hoping to get back up here towards 53 bucks or so, maybe $54, and that's probably where you would want to sell it. My thing about the Nasdaq right now is I think we still have an opportunity to go higher. So puts for a short would definitely help that out quite a bit. Same kind of thought process there. But as far as where I'd be looking to sell it, probably around $52 to $55. Anywhere in there, I'd be happy to take some profits off of them as the price goes up that much. Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. You're buying puts on this. You don't want it to go up. Gosh, I'm all over the place today. Sorry. Um, so you need this price to go down. So you need the Nasdaq to go. Yeah, you need the Nasdaq to go up for this to go down. Okay, that makes sense. Um, well, if that's the case, then hold on a second here. I like the direction you chose. I'd rather have puts than calls on this right now. We bounce off Fibonacci level right here. If we can break down below this Fibonacci level right here and then break down below the 50, which would probably have a really bad day for everybody involved. So that'd be um how do I say that? That'd be good for the Nasdaq, good for Bitcoin, but bad for shorts. And he's betting against the shorts in a different way instead of going along. Then you would see this probably tank back down to $42. And so instead of looking at the $50 price target, sorry, I'd be looking more at $44 to $40 price target, and that's what I'd be happy at as far as taking some taking my profits from that one. 50. You just need to make sure that the Nasdaq over the next few days continues to go up. If it doesn't, this could really have a big skyrocketing effect that the Nasdaq really does have to tank, as Jerome Powell seems to continue the quantitative tightening that he's talked about. There we go. Okay. At my work, we had a company come into program the pumps to accept double-digit per gallon prices, about 4.75 here in the main and rising. Oh, geez, I didn't even think about that. I did not even think about that. Double digits? That'd be terrifying. I mean, I guess for diesel, that'd probably be the right thing to do, right? Oh, man, yeah. Did you change your shirt? LOL, I thought a different stream just ended. Yeah, I did change my shirt. I did change my shirt. The other one was blue. This one is red. I literally just got this in the mail today. Oh, you guys can't even see me a little bit. Let me lower this down for you very fast. There you go. Yeah, but I did do a different shirt here. I change up my shirts quite a bit throughout the day. Usually, I'm allergic to pollen, like heavily allergic to pollen, so I like to kind of change it up every now and again, just so I'm not sneezy all over the place. Uh, and hey, Sly, I did this. I think those are creative. There you go. Wait, what are you talking about? Actually, what are you talking about there? Or maybe you're talking about something else right there. Um, And hey, Michael, as soon as I got a little bit of profit, I'd move my stop loss up to small profit. Is that a strategy you use? Yes, that's a strategy I use. Not always, especially when I use leverage. I like to move it up a little bit. What I'm hoping for in the terms of crypto in the future is that they have trailing stop losses. That way, if you have a 5% stop loss and the price of the currency goes up a little bit, the trailing stop loss goes up with it until the price eventually comes back down, taps on it, then the transaction is over, but you walk away with like really good profits, right? However, right now that's only available for stocks and options, which is stupid. So I'm really hopeful that they can kind of fix that up and they can apply it to different exchanges. I'm going to be talking to the guy from BitGet here pretty soon because he said they were working on it and it should be done this month. So I'm going to come back around and say, hey, you said you were going to have trailing stop losses. Can I, can you tell me how they have been progressing or not? So, another reason I'd recommend you guys sign up for BitGet, they're working on trailing stop losses, which is a game changer. And you guys have no in crypto when everything is so volatile, it's nice to be sure that you're going to be making some money, right? So like an instance with this. This is what I wanted to do when I first thought about Luna. All right. So here's the daily chart. Oh, is it just got on? Okay. Luna KuCoin. It was on KuCoin first. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's get rid of all this stuff. Let's go to a 15-minute chart. All right. When I bought when I bought Luna the first day it was out, I was buying it for like $5 or so down here. Okay. I was really happy with it. But I wanted to put a 15% stop loss on it. 15, because this is a very volatile thing. I didn't know if it was going to drop down or not. And I thought maybe I could have a 15% stop loss. So if I bought it right around here, right? Let's just go right here. It would only have fallen down 2% or so. That's not bad. Up here, would it have fallen 15% down? No, it wouldn't have. Over here, would it have fallen 15% down? No, it wouldn't have. Right here, would it have fallen 15% down? No, it wouldn't have. Would it have fallen 15% down? Yes, it would have. Right? And that's kind of the beauty of trailing stop losses. Now, because of that, I ended up just selling my Luna, my Terra, for $8, and I was pretty happy, right? That profit right there, from there to $8, is about 42%. For just holding it for a little bit of time, I mean, I'm happy with that. I don't know about you guys, but 42% for less than a day, pretty darn nice, right? But if I had a trailing stop loss, I'd be able to set it, forget it, and I assumed the price was going to go up because it was a new coin. Everybody's going to hype around it. I knew everybody was going to pump it up. Yada yada yada. That's how you can do it right there, right? Now, for other coins, you might not be doing a 15% trailing stop loss because that's pretty intense, of course. But for coins like this, sure. Normally, you guys are going to be using anywhere from like a 3 to a 5% in more calm markets. But you guys can go normally up to 10% for a trailing stop loss in case you guys just want to really leave it for weeks on end and just kind of forget about it. That's a great strategy as well, especially when you're starting a breakout going on. Not a breakout in a bear market, but just a normal breakout in a bullish market. It's a really good tool to be using for you guys. But we'll talk about that more whenever I can find an exchange that actually has that system in place. It is so important, and I don't know why people don't do it. I'm sure there's a reason why they don't do it, and I know they're not trying to be bad or mean to their consumers, nothing like that. I'm just wondering what is actually stopping them from doing that. That's what I really am that's what I'm really am watching. Because right now, Terra right here, I mean, I'm seeing a potential breakout coming up pretty soon, or a potential breakdown, something like that, right? Maybe I should do this top one. No, probably best to do this one right here. Right there. We could watch this for a few minutes, but that's what there you go, 5-minute chart. And if it broke out, you could have a 5 to 10% stop loss on it. So, in order for the stop loss to hit, it would have to come down here to like below the breakdown price practically. But yeah, so I like using them quite a bit. And hey, bye for the great another tax. Exactly. But yeah, Michael, that's a method I use quite a bit. It's just much harder in crypto. The reason I use it is because they don't have trailing stop losses in crypto. But I do like using that. Just nudge my stop loss up a little bit, nudge it up a little bit. I usually nudge them up before I go to bed. That way, in case it drops back down or there's a big crash, I'm not too concerned about it. There are times where I've gotten shaken out on a mini dip, and then I wake up and the price is up, and I assume I made some money, but I got caught in that initial dip. That is a side effect of that, but overall, I think it's been worth it just because I'm mitigating my losses, and over time, I'm still making pretty good returns on my longs. So, there are some consequences with that, but I think overall, it's worth it. Let's see. And Elon Musk can buy Robinhood due to Dogecoin. I think that'd be actually pretty interesting to see if Elon Musk would buy Robinhood. I mean, I would enjoy that quite a bit, right? And hey, Bradford, I did have a blue shirt on earlier. Now I have a nice red shirt with the blacky sparkles in it. Not sparkles, but little dash and things or something like that. Let me see. I'm just happy Costco hot dog with soda is still $1.50. They do a very good job about that. But remember, the board wanted to change it. One of the board members wanted to change it, and the head of the company was like, "I will cut you." Like, he went full, hey, don't you dare mess with that. And I like that. When you can have a company that has those types of values where it's not always about the money, that keeps people coming back more and more and more. And that's really nice to see. I need to re-up my Costco membership. It expired last year and I haven't been back there since. COVID in Costco, no, I wasn't going to do it. It was too much stress. And is Dollar Tree a good investment? I think for the long term it is. You're betting that inflation won't be under control, but you're also betting that they're going to be able to kind of keep their system up and running, which I think they will be. But you might even see Dollar Tree go up to $1.25, $1.50, $2 if they haven't already. I haven't been inside of a Dollar Tree in a while. I feel really sad going into them because the employees looked very overworked, like almost like a sweatshop. I feel really bad about it. Like I have never seen a place where, well, I don't know about you guys, but when I go into the dollar store, those people actually care about the customers, but at the same time, they're so stressed out because they care about the customers. If I'm working at minimum wage for a Dollar Tree, I am not the type of guy that has a stand-up attitude if I'm not getting paid well. You're going to get the quality of work that you're paying me for. They do good quality work, even though they're really stressed, and they're not getting paid much. I don't believe in that mentality at all, unless I'm donating my time to do something like when I go down to Latin America to do humanitarian work. Let's see. Yeah, no worries, Ryan. Happy to help you out. I know it always sucks to lose out on the options market. Trust me, I know that. I'm losing right now on NVIDIA. Um, a lot of celebrity wants to be politicians since they get more power now. Well, yeah, but I mean, it's just a bad time, guys. It's just a bad time in the economy. America, I don't know if you want to call it, hey, we have a corrupt system, but it's a system that really doesn't work as well as it used to. Everything has kind of gotten so gunked up with politics and corruption, maybe? I don't even know. Yeah. But it's not a good system. It's okay. I'm moving to Nicaragua. Yeah. But I still got family here, so they'll be taken care of. I install appliances for Costco in case anybody doesn't know. When you buy certain kitchen appliances, they throw in free installation just from being a member, just to tip everybody. Oh, that is pretty interesting right there as well. That is pretty interesting. I need to go buy it. I want to buy my mom a new oven, I think. Or a new part of an oven I think she wanted. I don't know what it was. But I might go buy her one. Yeah, no worries, guys. Every Dollar Tree is $1.25. It's not the same Dollar Trees. It depends on the Dollar Tree. And on top of that, we have taxes. So in Washington, we have a 10% sales tax, which means whatever you're paying at the dollar store, you're paying another 10% on top of that. That includes cars and all that other type of stuff, right? So it can be pretty nasty. I don't do installs in Nicaragua though. I'm so excited to move down there when next year. I cannot wait. I need to have some peace and quiet. I've been helping out my family for the past few years. I'm happy to do it, but it's not something I really thought I was going to be doing at my age, my 20s. So now that once they're all good and taken care of, I'm gonna moose, drink my pina coladas every day, have an in-house cleaning lady who takes care of everything I'm doing, and I'll be perfectly happy with that. And then kind of like peaceful and relaxful, right, as well. And thanks for subscribing very much. I really do appreciate it. There you go. If you need baby formula, shop Amazon in Canada and ship it to you. They have plenty. There you go, guys. See, that is pretty crazy. I can't believe they do that, but hey, if you need it, you need it. You better do whatever you can to get it. Costco might increase membership this year. You better get your Costco membership now. Oh, I don't mind if it costs a little bit extra right now or a couple extra bucks later. My big thing is tomorrow I have to take my car to the mechanic. Hopefully they fix it up within the day, and then I can just get back onto driving. I have been doing Uber, and in the last 3 weeks since I haven't had my car because the line at the mechanic is so long, I've spent over $1,000 Ubering. $1,000 in 3 weeks, right? And I tip pretty well for Uber drivers because I used to be one when I was in college. But at first it was just $300, and then it kept on growing and growing and growing anywhere I go. It's expensive, and you got caught up in a rush hour moment, and all of a sudden now it's like twice the price, and I'm just like, it's rough. It's rough. And hey, Rip Social, last time I was here, I thought you were planning on moving to Bolivia. Did you decide Nicaragua? Yeah, so Bolivia is landlocked, and there was too much trouble for me to try to get Loki over there. So I don't want to leave my dog here. And so basically, I decided on partly Nicaragua and Belize. I like Belize, but Belize doesn't have all the land and all the cheap stuff that I really want. I don't care about the quality of the country as long as it's safe, right? And so Nicaragua is the place I'm looking to move into right now. I tried to call them today, but can you believe it? I wanted to get ask some more questions about it. They close at 1 p.m. Pacific time. 1 p.m. Pacific time. And I was just like, gosh darn it. Uh, so I'm going to try to call them tomorrow to get some more information about getting Loki over there. But I talked to one person who says, oh, yeah, the process to get a dog over there is easy. You just need medical records, make sure they don't have rabies, and you need to have a certification of what type of breed they are. It's like a test. Loki doesn't need one, though, because he has paperwork saying that he is purebred. So it's kind of nice. I don't have to pay all the extra money for it. Bitcoin looks to pop up here above the 200 on the 1 hour. And Terra looks like it wants to pop up here. That's kind of nice to see. But here, Rip Sergeant, here, I'll show you this. Yeah, I see Nicaragua Embassy, Washington, D.C. I was searching it up earlier today. These are the type of places I'm looking for, right? So, like listing order, price highest to lowest. I don't want the land stuff. I don't need $1 million home or something like this. But, I mean, would this be a good example? Like $720,000? This is a 6 bedroom, 6 bath. I'm gonna rent a house, then build a house out there. But I'm gonna have a style kind of like this. You know, look at it, nice little town, small town. Get the water over here. Look at the views. Get the hot tubs and the pools. Nice stuff. You get the little pathways, whatever it may be. That's all I'm looking for. Fix up that kitchen though. Ew. But what do you call cruise ships coming into port? It's just some nice stuff. This is all I'm looking for. A nice quiet place. It won't be this large, probably not even this expensive at first. I got to see how much that's going to cost. But I'm looking to rent a house for maybe a couple years, not a house this big. I don't need 6 bedrooms for heaven's sakes. Maybe a 4 bedroom house, maybe a 3 bedroom house, so I have a guest over, and then from there, have some fun with it, and build a house up there once I can buy a lot of land. But as I'm looking at the land over here, there's not on this website alone. I got to find out another website. I have to talk to a real estate agent. Um, you know, this is $49,000 for a small lot size, 15-20 meters. Oh, I don't know what this meter squared. I suck at this. 2 square feet. So that wasn't, what is it? 15, 16,000 square feet ish or so, like property wise, with a view of the water. I mean, I know it's probably not in the best location here, but what do you call? I'd be happy to buy some there. I would just have to get a view of the water. That's probably why it's so cheap. I'm not going to live in a place that doesn't have a view of the water. But what do you call? What do you call? There we go. Nice little pop there. Um, but that's what I'm hoping for over the long term. In the medium term, if I have to live in a house for a little bit of time and chill out there, I don't care. I just want to make sure I have some nice property, can relax and chill out, and not have to worry about the day to day worries of the world. I don't know. I feel like Americans, we have a burden of just caring about everybody. Almost like, I care about you, but, I also care about myself. And I care about myself a little bit more. Um, let's see. Have you tried taxi? Taxi might be cheaper than Uber. I don't like calling taxis. They seem to be just kind of a little bit of it just irks me. I don't like having to get them over there and wait for them. Ubers are usually just close by. I don't live in the city anymore, so the taxis aren't necessarily like close by to me. I think the last time I called a taxi was for the airport, and it took them like an hour to get to me. And I was like, "There's an Uber around the corner." I canceled the taxi and said, "You're taking too long." They got mad at me, but I was like, "You guys take too long." I took an Uber, cost like maybe $10 more, but I got to the airport nice and easy and fast, no stress. I'm not going to be late to my flight because a taxi driver has to get to me. And it's not the taxi driver's fault. It's just they have their own realms. They have a place where they make more money, which is downtown cities. Uber drivers do the same thing. But there's more Uber drivers just kind of chilling out in the suburbs, like eating popcorn in their living room, wait for a ride to pop up. Oh, let's go hop in the car. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Right? That's what I used to do. I used to just park in. I used to just sit down. When I was in college, I used to sit down in the car, do my homework, or whenever I got a ride, put a little note in the thing, close the notebook, put it onto the passenger seat, and then go do the ride. Stop wherever after I dropped him off. I drive a couple more blocks down the road, wait for another ping, and just keep doing homework. It was nice and effective. And there we go. Luna's having a nice little pop off here. We'll see if we can actually break out a little bit more. This is a baby breakout, but heck, we'll take it right now. We'll take it for Luna. Something interesting might be to do this. Oh, what's price target for this one would be? Oh, is that why we're hitting that resistance? Well, we beat this resistance here. Huh. I'll have to pay attention to that one a little bit more. Let's go back to the 5. Let's go back to the 1, actually. Yeah, getting rejected from that one a little bit here. Yeah, Rip Soldier, I'm super excited for it. I am super excited. It's just going to take some time in the paperwork of moving to another country. Most people that move to other countries are older. I'm a younger dude, for sure. So I'm going to have to find the right crowd of people in there and stuff like that. But I'm sure it'll be fun once I get down there. A lot of work, a lot of setup, but I mean, come on, it's worth it to move. And plus, how many people can say they've moved to different countries in their life? I think that's a kind of a plus. And Uber still has the ultimate benefit that you can see where they are on your phone and how close they are to picking you up. A taxi, you never know when they get there. Exactly. I like this certainty of knowing when they're coming. I want to live on a sailboat in the near future, travel and see where I want to see my plant my feet permanently. I had that same thought, and then all of my friends that have large boats, they were like, "Don't do it. It's going to be expensive." And I'm like, "Well, I have the money, but like, don't do it." And so I was gonna get a boathouse and park it on the Tacoma Marina, and then move it between Tacoma and Seattle as I saw fit, and then try to take it down the coastline to California. Then stay in California for a few months, and then move down to South America, Latin America, and just do a little yacht tour, like a decently sized boat. But it would have cost like $1 million plus, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. So I was just like, you know what? For the boat, I want to though. Nice boats cost a lot of money. Oh man, Luna getting rejected off of that fib. Oh, excuse me. All right, we'll come back to it in a few minutes. I want to see if Bitcoin had a little bit of. Oh yeah, Bitcoin dropped too. That's why. Normally when I'm watching this, one, all right. Um, I want to live on a. Oh no, there you go. It's expensive for upkeep, but whatever. Yeah, I know, right? Um, I'm hoping I can get a boat down on when I'm in Nicaragua. I gotta find a marina. I think they have marinas though. I just don't want to be one of those guys that parks my boat in the water and then have to get another boat to go to my boat to use it, right? Because I know down in Nicaragua they have hurricanes and stuff like that, and I have to be prepared for all that good stuff. And hey, D's, I wish we got a Costco here. I mean, we got lots in Washington, but that's where they started off, right? Kirkland is in Washington. My high school teacher for history, he had the opportunity to go in with the founder of Costco and just gave him a few like $50,000 to help him go in on the project, and he said no, and now he's still a high school teacher, and the head of Costco is blah, 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 Richie rich rich, right? It is absolutely insane some of those things that happen in life. But it's a lot easier to make money back in the day than it is now as far as opening up companies. Now everybody has kind of a monopoly on their own stuff, or they get bought out really fast. And hey, D's, don't get a boat, get a yacht. Well, I would like to get a yacht, but yachts are expensive, and I'm not entirely sure how the Wi-Fi would work on a yacht. I don't know. I don't want to rely on satellite Wi-Fi too much if I was on a boat in case I break something, which I most likely would. But it would have been fun actually YouTubing from you guys from a boat every single day. Hey everybody, I can't come to stream today because there's a hurricane out there. I'm going into port, but I'll see you guys later. Stuff like that, right? Oh, maybe taxis do have their own apps like Uber. I bet in certain areas they do. I bet probably in Seattle they do. I'd probably guarantee that actually. I have a friend that lives in Lake Union and they pay about $4,500 a month just for mooring the houseboat. That is in Lake Union. That is Lake Union prices right there. Lake Union is really expensive. Oh my gosh. And hey, D's can get a Starlink. I know I'm going to get a Starlink when I go over to Nicaragua. I think that's probably what I'm going to be looking at. I don't know. I think I figured it's not going to cost too much money. It's like a one-time thing plus, service charge. But I think it'll be worth it because the speed is going to be adequate enough for dealing with my YouTube stuff for sure. But I'm just hoping that once I move down, I don't have any problems because I'm going to leave my car here, buy a new car when I get down there. I'm going to pack up all this stuff, the TVs, the sound system, all that type of stuff, put it into storage, And then when I build my house and everything like that, because a lot of the houses down there in Nicaragua, they actually come furnished, which is pretty cool. Um, I will pay a shipping company to get one of those big old containers, like a container you see on the back of a truck, basically, like the ones in the ports, filled up with all my goods with like nice safety wrap and everything, and have that entire thing shipped over to my house in Nicaragua. And then I'll just sit it down. I'll pay movers to move everything inside the house, set everything up, drill in the holes, all that good stuff. Pay cleaning people to clean up everything afterwards because there's gonna be some stuff on the floor and all that good stuff. And then from there, decide to keep the shipping container if I really want it. Most likely won't, or I will give it back to the people that gave it to me. I'm not entirely sure how that process works. Probably renting or something like that, right? But that's the goal. That's the goal. Again, over a year away from when I would do that. I'm looking at my watch like this. It's calendar on there, but it's not. I'm not going to be moving until like next September, next October time, around that period in time. Hopefully that'll be good for me. And I'm going to try to find the easiest way to get Loki down there. I don't want him to be, he'll probably ride on the plane, but I want to make sure it's an okay way for him to fly and all that good stuff for him. I've never, I've never flown with a dog before. I've had friends that told me they'll be fine, but I'm a concerned parent, whatever I call it. Uh, what's right here? And Hades, I'm baffled. Elon hasn't contacted Mike though. He might watch Mike and just be silent about it. uh, I'm sure he's been here a time or two. What do you call it? There's been a lot of people that have watched my streams, whether it's my 24/7 streams or just the ones I talk about it. Heck, what's that lady's name that has a lot of Dogecoin? I think she sold a good amount of it off too. Um, I think her channel is Living with Lucy. Yeah, Living with Lucy. Oh, not want to mess up her. I don't want to play her videos. But yeah, she still streams. She just streamed 2 hours ago. I know she's been in my stream every now and again. How to use Rakuten Cash, back reward app. Luna still trending. Elon Musk SpaceX merch. Luna 3.0. Thinking my way out of unhappiness. Okay, yeah, but yeah. So she's had a lot of stuff, and she even has some shorts here and things like that. And she even has a Lucy show second channel. My second channel right now is just for the streaming stuff like that, but the streams. But yeah, so I've seen people all over the place come over here and kind of chat with me. Oh snap! Did I do that on the Bitcoin stream? I did do that on the Bitcoin stream. That's okay. New chart layout. Okay, there we go. Sorry, making sure it was working. I always get my names mixed up on this one. All right. Just got Loki some puppies annex. He'll be okay. That's what I'm thinking of doing. Just get him nice and calm because I know they have to check into the crate and get him in and out. I think they do. And he's a freaking German Shepherd. By then he'll be like fully grown. He'll be ready to roar if somebody starts messing with him. So I want to make sure he's calm and nice. And I've seen TikToks of dogs running across the tarmac, and I'm like, oh my god, if that happened to Loki, I'd be busting out through the emergency door and Loki and get him to come over to me, and stuff stuff like that. But if I'm lucky and maybe I get to meet Elon Musk one day, I'll be like, Elon, can I have a privately chartered private jet flight from Seattle, Washington over to Nicaragua? Pretty please, pretty please. And you can stay at my house whenever you want to. Some type of quid pro quo like that. That'd make my life really easy. But there's no way I am going to be paying for a chartered flight. Like, let me see. How do you do this? Let me see. Private jet rental, fly without limits. We'll just go to this one. Continue. Uh, oh, I gotta inquire. Oh, geez. Just give me a quick rate. Jet Li, there we go. So from Seattle, Nicaragua. Oh God, I don't even know. Let me just go with Nicaragua. I'll just choose one of these random ones. Costa Esmeralda. Who knows? And this would be. Let's go to October 1st. And passengers 2, 1 adult, 1 dog. Get quotes. Oh, I got to do a return time? There is no return time. Okay, let's. Okay, there we go. Just send quotes. Oh, what? They don't like. No, fine, whatever. Whatever, I don't care. My point is, I know it would cost a lot of money. To the point where Elon would have to pay for it. And hey, Ken, gaming channel next. I would probably do some type of gaming channel if I just had the time for it, and it would be primarily whatever I was playing at that moment in time. I think whenever I get an Xbox, the new Xbox, the new PS5, down the road, I think it'd be worth just whenever I hop on my stream to game, I would just start streaming live, and that'd be that. I would actually have fun doing that. I haven't streamed games in such a long time though. I think the last time I streamed a game was I was playing with some friends, and we were playing that one game where everybody jumps up and down and they're trying to win a contest. I don't know what it's called. I don't have Steam open, but it was a pretty fun game. Uh, I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited either way. What a wonderful buying opportunity we will most likely be getting for all the markets. If it goes up, we'll get to secure more profits. Yeah, guys, right now you're fine. Right now we're at a support level. If you guys want to buy for the next 24 hours, right now it's a good opportunity. Just have a 2 to 3% stop loss on it, and you won't be too disappointed if you just lose 3%. Of course, just be careful, because what's going to really hit the market pretty hard tomorrow is going to be the Nasdaq here. If the Nasdaq starts to tank like it did today, that's where Bitcoin can really have a really bad day going forward. I think tomorrow I'm going to wake up early, and probably around 5 o'clock. And if I start to see Bitcoin tanking or stuff like that, I may have an early morning live stream on for probably just an hour. Nobody really watches the streams that I do in the morning, or at least since the last time I really did it. So I tend not to do it too much. But maybe tomorrow I can have a stream that you guys will watch only if the price is crashing. I actually wanted to wake up early to stream just in case there was a big move up today or down. But my phone died. So no alarm went off, and I woke up like at 8 o'clock, and I was like, oh, cool. That's interesting. But yeah, so it'll be might be an interesting morning tomorrow. And you could add a mod to play Dome game. Oh, yeah, there you go, right? Heck, I would always be looking for moderators on that type of channel too. Who knows? But okay, everybody, it's been a good 5-6 hours or something that I've been streaming so far today. I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna go get some food, because I didn't have a chance to get food earlier. But on Hades, imagine when we play and crash or a huge pump suddenly happens. It'll be like a pilot scramble to their helicopter. Yeah, for real. But these crashes are kind of fun to watch. As long as there's volatility, I'm pretty happy with everything going on. But yeah, I hope you guys all have a fantastic night. Thank you guys so much for coming down to the stream tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Unless we have a big tank in the morning. In that case, I'll try to go live for a little bit. But I know a lot of you guys have work, so if you're not here, no worries. Happy to see you guys, and enjoyed